Hello, brothers and sisters. It's Peter Garreth. Haven't made a video in quite a long time, but I felt God's presence in me today, so I thought I'd have a quick shower and then get a video out of the way. I've been reflecting over a certain book of the Bible recently, namely the Romans. Thought it was it's a book that has a lot to offer. So we're just going to jump in chapter 1, verse 18. We're going to start. And I'm not sure if I'll read all of it because it's about 20 verses that I'd like to get through to chapter 2. But I guess I'll just read the most important things I think stand out to me, and then we'll go from there. And we'll talk about what it means and how we can apply it to our everyday life. So start from the start. Verse 18. God's anger at sin is what it's titled. Verse 18, alright. But God shows his anger from heaven against all the sinful and wicked people who suppress the truth by their wickedness. They know the truth about God because he has made it obvious to them. For ever since the world was created, people have seen the earth and the sky. Through everything God made, they can clearly see his invisible qualities, his eternal power and divine nature. So they have no excuse for not knowing God. And then it goes on to say how unbelievers, certain people, chose not to believe in him, and they make false idols that look like people, etc. We've heard this before. What else is good? So it says, so you jump to verse 24 after that. So that's from 18 to 20, I think. So go to verse 24. So God abandoned them to do whatever shameful things their hearts desired. As a result, they did vile and degrading things with each other's bodies. They traded the truth about God for a lie. Wow. Even the women turn against the natural way to have sex and instead indulge in sex with each other. And the men, instead of having normal sexual relations with women, burned in lust for each other. Men did shameful things to other men, and as a result of this sin, they suffered within themselves the penalty they deserved. I'm guessing that means hell. What else do we have? They thought it foolish to acknowledge God, so he abandoned them to their foolish thinking. And then it just goes on to say, what makes a sinner, I guess. Alright, I'll just do one more verse. They know God's justice requires that those who do these things deserve to die, yet they do them anyway. Worse yet, they encourage others to do them too. Now, I think this is an extremely important passage. So straight from the get-go we have the verse, the truth is clear, the truth is everywhere about God's existence. You have no excuse whatsoever to, just to not acknowledge God as the one and only God. He's saying, look outside. I have a beautiful view of my garden outside, and you can just tell by looking at it, how could there not be a God to make such beautiful species of plants and the animals amongst the plants? Everything works. It's all intermingled. It wouldn't work otherwise, It's way too complex for there not to be a God. And then we go on and we say, because of this, there's no excuse for not knowing God. The evidence is everywhere. And you get these unbelievers, these atheists, people who follow different religions, like Buddhism or Hinduism. And it says, they know in their hearts that Christianity, that worshipping God is the right way to go. They know in their hearts, but they choose to not believe anyway. And that's the really sad thing, brothers and sisters, that people would be so far gone that they'd rather live in a life of sin. So they neglect God and, worshipping false idols in the shapes of animals and people, And the atheists, I guess, or the scientists in the big institutions, they worship their science. It's like, sorry, I can't think of how to say this. Okay, so they're always trying to explain God's creation, like constantly. That's what they do, And it's like, if they don't believe in God. They can't accept that the explanation for creation is in the Bible. They need to explain it themselves, and they think that by doing this they can have all the answers, and it's not true. They can't. Okay, sure, I think that science does a very good job of explaining how God's creations work, but they can't explain how life got here in the first place. They can't explain how the universe came to be, the Big Bang, who made the Big Bang, that kind of thing, and they think they have some kind of trump card over us, but they really don't. They really don't. And it's really sad because it even says in that passage, without God, our lives would go to sin. There's no morality without God. They say, they do evil things. They encourage each other to do evil things. Turn away from God. Come on, it's so much more fun this way. And it's really sad. It's disgusting as well. Homosexuality. If you don't believe in God, that's where the world's going to go. How many gay religious people do you know? And if they are religious, they're probably lying. They're still living in sin. So they can't be a proper Christian. It's really sad. It's almost infuriating, but you have to give your anger to God in the end of the day, and so that's what I generally do. Pray every night. God, please, relieve me of the stresses of the day. Please don't help me not to be angry at others. That kind of thing. I think that's really important prayer to say, because we're always told to turn the other cheek, and don't harbor hatred for anybody in our hearts, and that's what you have to do. You have to give it to God. Yeah, and it's really sad, and it begs the question, how do we deal with these people? They always argue against the existence of God, but according to the Bible, which is absolute truth, it's words from God Himself. They know the truth in their heart. They're choosing not to believe. That's what it comes down to. It's not that they don't believe and they say, "Oh, I just could never believe this. This is excuse my French, but bullcrap." They know in their heart. They're saying these words. This is why He can't exist. But in their hearts, they know, I don't want to believe in Him because I want to live a life of sin. That's what it comes down to at the end of the day. And there's no way of them getting around that. That's just what it is. So if you know anybody who is rejecting God at the moment, pray for them. Try and talk to them. Show them that a life of sin is not the way to go. They will burn in hell. If when they die and they don't believe in God, they're going to burn. That's a lot of churches try and sugarcoat this issue. They try and step around it, but there's no getting around it. That's how it works at the end of the day. If you don't acknowledge God in your life, you are going to hell. And that's it. That's what it comes down to. So try and put them on the right path, because it's really important. We need to get as many people into heaven as we can. And I'm not sure how many people are allowed into heaven, if there's a set number, but because God knows all things, so at the end of the day He knows who's going to hell and who's not going to hell even before they're born. So just do your best. And if not, maybe it's not meant to be. Maybe they're meant to think like God. But yeah, I don't know. It's something to think about. Maybe I'll address it in another video. Thanks for watching, brothers and sisters. I'll pray for you. Pray for everybody every day I do. Pray for your safety. Pray for your faith. If you're having doubts, just give it to God, man. Just hand your life over to Him. He's so good. Alright. Thank you for watching.